It's time to stop hiding my voice behind satirical videos and make an actual video where I express my opinions about Kaskobi. Recently, Kaskobi's been very dishonest with us and I want to clear up some common misconceptions. I've been following the Launchpad community for quite some time now and I'm amazed at just how much it's grown over time. We went from simple covers and people showing off their passion towards colorful videos more focused on creativity. That's not necessarily bad if it doesn't hurt other people in the community who prefer to focus a lot more on producing skill-based covers that take a lot more time to make. Sadly, that's the case at this point, and some insane covers are being neglected more and more because people can't stop looking up to Kaskobi as the one and only god of the Launchpad. The community started looking up to Kaskobi for a few reasons, first of which being him being one of the first to get their hands on the Launchpad MK2, making his covers attractive because of the new colors. Secondly, he was spitting out project files like crazy, releasing new projects every week or so. The final reason is that those project files were insanely beginner friendly, with basic sampling which was not very common at the time. Sure, there were project files meant for unskilled people such as Voltapix's covers, but most covers were fairly complex and took time to learn. Kaskobi had allowed beginners to easily reproduce flashy performances that looked stunning. This boosted his channel a lot in his early days. He got popular and had many kids thinking the Launchpad is a toy, thus corrupting the community with thousands of kids who now praise him. Before my first video pointing out his issues, Kaskobi's covers were mediocre at best, with a couple fake samples snuck in here and there. Notable examples of such practices are Rear Number 1, Alone Again mashup, Both Never remakes, Wake Me Up Inside and Blackout. He always fakes the launch key parts in the projects he uses it in. At that point, he realized people who follow him don't care about the functionality of the project, but only loved light shows, so he started focusing a lot more on his lights than on his samples, to the point where he essentially fakes his performances. He's also resorted to using a huge number of launchpads in slice to MIDI videos meant literally just for showing off the lights. He knows people won't care because it looks alright, and the average launchpadder can't really tell the difference until it's pointed out. Kaskobi is actually capable of high quality sampling and even performing complex sequences, as evidenced by Undone and the drop of Keep On Lovin', but most of the time he simply trades effortless sampling for a better looking performance. From his recent videos, it's evident he took the advice and improved a lot in a short time. It's all good up to the point where Kaskobi is slowly starting to feel the fame and slowly begins creating videos for views. His subscriber count spiked a lot after uploading Shape of You, which was when he truly realized the potential of covering mainstream songs. All of his recent covers were also trending songs, even leeching off Stranger Things, which really shouldn't have much to do with a Launchpad video. He has completely disconnected from the Launchpad community and is only producing for the mainstream, even getting in touch with certain companies who pay him to promote the songs they choose. He also asks people to send in their own light effects to him for use in his videos, only to get very little to no credit at all. Spoiled by the fame, lying to the Launchpad community has become a habit to him, only using people to feed his ego and view counts. He's once mentioned his financial situation being pretty bad, barely having enough money for taking the bus to school, and then saying he bought the full producer bundle of FL Studio and never used it at all. He makes a lot of money from his Patreon page and YouTube advertising, so I'm sure he can cope with stuff like that. He's also lied during the shoutout fiasco, when he said calling his covers fake was a compliment to him, and people still believed him rather than believing the objective proof. Speaking of the shoutout, I believe it's an amazing concept, and it's capable of getting some underrated launchpadders a bit more exposure. The way he chooses the shoutout, though, is not exactly looking at great launchpadders, but rather selecting the best looking performances. His first shoutout was CKSL's Jazz Candy, which is literally a soft cover without any samples whatsoever. The second was Technics, who's already fairly popular, and I believe he only chose him because they're friends and he does really make high quality covers. The third shoutout of the year was pretty controversial, where he selected Baron's Wait For Me cover. I've already gone through as to why this was an extremely bad choice in my previous videos, but just to reiterate, the sampling was really bad, both of their videos were proved fake, and the only thing that looked good in the cover were the lights. Even though he got a huge amount of backlash for it, he ultimately decided to leave the video up on his channel. And no matter the events that occurred, people still covered the project just because Kaskobi himself had done it. That just shows you how much this community still blindly follows Kaskobi without even considering what he's actually doing. The fourth shoutout was also Wait For Me, but this time it was Tash's cover of the Gohma and Reek remix of the song. Hands down, Tash is very underrated and does produce stunning covers, but this video has been removed without notification from his channel. Why? Because Tash called him out for faking his cover of Another Day that got promoted on Novation's YouTube channel, even mocking what Novation had wrote in the description. The lights competition is a very mixed bag. It's useful to get a bit of exposure as an underrated launchpadder, but what it essentially is just Kaskobi attempting to get people to make samples for him because we've already seen he's too lazy to do those on his own. If executed properly, it's really a great thing. The third competition had been won by Kraken, and while his name was announced the winner in a short results video, the actual cover had no mention of Kraken at all, with only a short link to his channel in the description. Kaskobi had marketed the video as if it was his own cover to unsuspecting viewers. The recent Fortlights competition has been completed, but we are still waiting for the actual cover to be released. 3 months after StrikerFeed has been announced the winner, Kaskobi apparently isn't interested in finishing his part of the project file. It just so happens that he likes the money he gets from companies that want to promote their songs a lot more than giving the prize to the winner of his own contest. Worst of all, he's hinting that he's not gonna do the project at all, stating he actually doesn't think the song fits for his channel, essentially rendering the competition pointless as the winner gains absolutely nothing out of it. He even calls StrikerFeed unprofessional because he's bothered by the fact that he's been lying to him all the time. Kaskobi has removed him from the partners role on his Discord, which essentially confirms the video is not gonna happen. All in all, Kaskobi has been improving ever since half the community started complaining, but the damage has been done and it will be very hard to revert the community to the way it was before. People have to realize how Kaskobi influenced this community to what it is today and combine the best from the old and new styles to create a new generation of Launchpad covers.
I'm gonna play Launchpad. Walker.